California storm has done it again. Gone all the way through and washed into the garage. Let's check it out. All right, so coming into the garage, this is what we're working with. There's about, you can see with my boat, a couple inches. It was actually above or hitting just close to that. Luckily, we were able to get things up off the ground, but we'll see. Not sure if the tread mold will work, but you can see here's mud and debris and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just a mess. We'll recover, but it's going to be difficult. All right, guys, so it's the next day. As you can see, it's a bit bright and sunny, but it is Christmas Day. So here's basically the layout of what happened. So this is a wash that runs through our property. And if you notice, just the natural flow of things goes right toward the house. Obviously, we didn't want that. So the people that lived here before built this berm to protect the garage and the house. They actually, to be honest, they put the garage in the wrong place. I think it's kind of stupid where they put it, but whatever. Okay. Nevertheless, the building is there, right? So it boils down to this wash. So we had storm of the year, Christmas Eve and Christmas, going into Christmas Day, or the last couple days. And it doesn't happen that often, but when we have storms like this, there's so much water in such a short period of time, it just rushes down the wash. Now, most of the time, it actually rushes down the road, but when there's an overabundance of water, it comes right through the wash. So we did build this berm to try to, basically cause it to go that way, because we are allowed to reroute it on our property as long as it comes in where it's supposed to on our property and it leaves where it's supposed to. Now, at the end of our property, there's no definitive spot as to where it actually leaves our property. It's just at the end. So there was so much water that the water went over the berm and actually went into the garage, which will show you that. But this is kind of the path. So while it was raining and all that, we tried to essentially reroute a lot of the water. That way it went that way and around. So we were semi-successful, but it was a little too late in some aspects. So you can see we put the cinder blocks. I mean, this is mud. This was probably a 6-foot hole that is now covered in mud or filled with mud. I'm a bit surprised at these rocks that they're so clean. But this was a rock, a little rock quarry or whatever, where we stuck a bunch of rocks just to kind of, again, hinder the flow a little bit. But this is kind of what it is. So, with the help of my neighbor, we were able to dig this up a bit and get the water to flow down this. We'll probably have to dig this a little bit, for next time, when there is a next time, and we'll obviously have to build the berm back up, because as we got to this area, the water was flowing so much it just hit the berm and went through it over on this side. However, I mean, I don't care about this side because it's away from the house. Bad part about it is some of it just started flowing back towards, but not as much. So it is what it is. So, and then a lot of it just kind of built up and rotated down and went somewhat where it was supposed to. So that's where we're at. Now I'm going to head over to where it caused a problem with the garage. So from time to time I'll collect some wood, so I have projects to do and all that kind of fun stuff. And as the water came down, it hit this berm that you can see here. And when it got to this wood, it was flowing so fast that essentially it went over the berm and of course went into the garage. So usually it flows this way and naturally goes towards the fruit trees, which will not need water for a long period of time. A lot of this is now trash. There's nothing that we can build with it or do with it. But as you can see, once we get over to this section here, this is where it overtook the berm. And then as it came into this area, and it's still slippery, I was able to block off and get the water to, revert back that way. But as you can see, this is the entrance to, where I build, right? So as you can see, it is covered in mud, and so is the bottom of the garage. So let's go ahead and go into the garage and I'll show you the mess. Now the other aspect was the water hit the garage and actually started coming around because it had nowhere to go, and it flowed right into this section and then down, but then obviously it came into the door. We put cinder blocks in to mitigate it, but of course now we are covered in mud. So there's about a quarter of an inch of mud here in the garage. You can kind of see, where things flew and all of that. Some of the stuff, I might be able to still work with. Other items, might, but as you can see, this is where the mud is, and it's super slippery. But it got into the wheels of the tables and all of that. Trying to walk carefully. And so it's kind of where we're at. Some of the things we were able to pick up because I figured it was going to get, it was going to get into here a little bit, but so luckily I don't think anything got really ruined all that bad. I still have to take a look. I mean, obviously that light is toast. There's the extension cord that runs through the garage. That's probably toast. And I'm really actually going to have to take all this out and scrape the floor. Because, like I said, I mean, you can see my footprints in the mud going all the way through. And, obviously it got to this point and it stopped. We're going to have to take all these off, probably clean up the drywall or cut the drywall out and all of that. You can see, that has mud on it, so I'm going to have to clean that off. I'm not sure how that got mud on it. My space heater got mud. Some of the bins, I don't necessarily think it's all too bad, but it's just kind of, it sucks. Some of the sets that I had in boxes, the boxes are trash, but the sets are still good. Trying not to slip all over this stuff. So yeah, I will have some time off from work, and that's when, at that point, we'll come in and assess the situation and see what we can do. I mean, it's kind of one of those. It is what it is, right? We're gonna probably pull all this stuff out, get it all cleaned up. I mean, the wood here is a little jacked, but I mean, I can cut that off a little bit or just deal with it. Nothing crazy. I mean, as far as the treadmill, it doesn't look like it's too bad, but I won't know until I plug it in and turn it on. But ultimately, that's what's going on. We won't have an opportunity to clean it up today. It'll probably dry out. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I was thinking about using a squeegee, but if it's all dry, the squeegee won't do any good. But, it is what it is, right? So, that's where we're at. So, this is going to be a super long video because I'm going to be cleaning this up over time, but just wanted to kind of show you what happened. All right, guys. So, it's been a couple days. It's now the Sunday after Christmas. What is it? The 27th? No, 28th. And, for the most part, we still have mud. We had a couple days of storm, and you kind of saw from the last clip, this is kind of where we're at. So, today I'm going to be spending the day cleaning all of this up. I'm going to have to move these tables. I kind of started scraping just to kind of see where it was at, how much depth. There's not as, the mud isn't as thick as I thought it was going to be, which is good. I did have pieces of linoleum, that's what you're saying there, on the floor. It was put there by the previous owners or whatever. And excuse me. And that is actually coming up, which is kind of nice, to be honest, because then the floor is going to be like even and all of that. So that's going to be the case. I obviously have to move everything, because I got to get the mud from under the tables. So that's going to be fun, I guess, if you want to call it fun. I got to move everything off the floors, all of that. This door does open. That door actually helped quite a bit, because with the water coming in, it was able to actually exit out that door, and I'll show you here in a second. So by having the door here, the water was able to just exit out here instead of just kind of building up in the garage. So it created a through and through. And if I open this up, you will see there's not much dirt and mud on this side, which is good. So I'm going to be, like I said, I'm actually going to be pulling the tables out this way because it'll be easier. I'm going to lay some 2x4s down here. Or not 2x4s, plywood down that I have extra from the shed to roll the tables out to make it a little bit easier, and then we'll go from there. So nothing to do it but to do it. Let's get her done. All right, guys, so cleaned up a little bit. I was able to get one table out. I set up some folding tables over there, and so that I could put the builds. And then essentially this is kind of where we're at. was able to get one table out. I'm trying to assess kind of what I'm going to do from here. I'm thinking that I start pulling these tables, and I've already put one table outside. So I will probably start taking these builds, putting them outside. That way I can scrape up and get everything out. The mud down here isn't as bad as I thought. It's still bad, but it's not crazy bad. I won't know more until I get, because I mean, mud runs downhill. You know, water finds a way for gravity. So there's a lot less mud on this side than there is, of course, on this side. I mean, you can see there's a pile of mud right there, just scraping this section so that I can walk and not slip. Luckily, like I said, the water didn't raise too high. Still got into the water and mud still got into the wheels and stuff, but nevertheless, it's still, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So again, nothing to it but to do it. All right, guys. So as you can see, it's cleaning up rather nicely. I am going to probably spray it down with the hose just to clear out some of the other dirt and clean it up a bit. But I haven't moved the crate yet. I'll be moving that out, getting all the mud underneath it. There's a pile of mud still there. I mean, it looks like a mess, but if you rewind back to the other video, it's actually a lot better. I mean, this is cleaned up, but it's not great, so I definitely need to wash it off. You can kind of see the layer of mud that I'm scraping on this side. It's about probably, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, something like that. I still have a lot to do over there. I have to I'm definitely going to pull the treadmill out. I mean, Matt's going to be happy because I'm actually doing something with this room, but it took a natural disaster to do it. But that air unit's probably trash. Just got to move all this stuff, move the little bits and pieces, definitely move the treadmill, and then I can clean this up a lot more. So it's a work in progress for sure. It's taken me all morning. It's about noon. I started about 8, so 4 hours of work, and this is what we have. So the other thing is that I have been scraping up the tiles that were here. Those have been somewhat easy to scrape, but ultimately, like I said, once we kind of get it, manageable, I'm gonna kind of start on this side, watering it down, getting it all cleaned up, and then probably move this table over and work my way over just to kind of get it situated. So as we like to say, none to it but to do it. Let's get her done. All right, guys, a couple hours later, been working on scraping the floor and all of that, move the crate. I think I've got it to a point where I can actually start moving the tables in. It's getting kind of dark. Overall, I think I've made a lot of progress. And because of it, I have, I think I have the ability to build a couple more tables. I've moved a lot of the stuff back there. And so I'm going to slide the tables. I'm going to do the 16 foot this way, or 2 8-foot tables to make 16 feet that way. And then I'm going to see if I can fit, because I have 3 tables out here, the one in between, which I should be able to, which leaves me another 8-foot table there and an 8-foot table there. If all of that goes well, then I might actually be able to put a 8-foot table there. So it's going to take a little bit of effort. I'm glad I'm really excited about the progress. I mean, rewind the video and you can see how it looked before. I mean, it's still dirty, but it's a lot better. I feel like I've made a lot of progress. So I'm going to wheel those tables in, show you what it looks like, and see if we can continue to rock this out. All right. Made a ton of progress. So got the tables in. Super excited about that. And as you can see, I have room for at least 2 more tables here and probably 1.5 tables. So that'll maximize my city, and I will be able to expand it to fully 16, pretty much 16 by 16, which I'm excited for. So that's where we're at. Again, made a lot of progress. Super excited. Got most of the mud out. Still got to get around my desk, but that's for another day. It's getting pretty late. And I got a lot of more work to do. So this is probably going to be a 2-part video because, yeah, it's just a lot. I got 2 tables to build, which since I have the majority of this week off, I might as well build those. I got the materials at least for those, and the wood down there. I think I have enough wood. I might have to go get more. But nevertheless, I mean, that puts me at some progress. Again, definitely a lot more progress to do, but I think the room is definitely going to come along. Man, it seems so much bigger, but I know it's not. So yeah, so that'll do it for today, guys. That'll do it for this video. It's been a fun one, but you know, no pain, no gain, right? We gained a lot of space, you know. I will definitely be getting rid of the crate at some point. So that space will probably stay where it's at, because it's easier for me to take the crate out that door than it is any other door, or that door. But that door is kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, so that kind of gives me more of a layout. Like I said, I will have to clean up more of this area so that I could build the tables. But I think that's not gonna be too hard. I'll probably finish that up, doing that tomorrow, along with some other aspects in here, and then we'll start building those tables out. So this is gonna be a couple video project, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate all the love and support. It really does mean a lot that you've taken the time, energy, and effort to watch my content, hang out, share your thoughts. Please comment below. If you like my content and want more, please consider joining one of my memberships. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitch and Instagram and all those kind of fun stuff. And you'll see a lot more of my projects, a lot more of my builds, a lot more of my room. And yeah, so we will see you next time on 36 Brix. Did you like that video? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you like my content and want more, please consider joining one of my memberships, as every little bit counts. Want to see more? Check out this video. Or, well, shit, maybe this video. That video. Check out all my videos on my YouTube channel. And if you want to hang out during live streams, come do that too. Thanks for watching.